has been more than a week and a half since the end of the Santa Cruz Wharf just collapsed into the ocean. We're talking a huge amount of debris, construction equipment, and even an entire restroom building floating away. Well, now, in about 13 hours, it's going to be back open for business. Engineers have been working around the clock to assess the damage and make sure the rest of the wharf is safe. And in the meantime, businesses on the wharf and their employees have been in limbo without a way to pay the bills. Well, our Kara St. Cyr caught up with the owners of a longtime candy shop at the end of the wharf, and they tell her they could not be more relieved to be back in business.
It's been 10 days since Jenny and Gino Marini last opened their candy shop to the public.
Back here is where we dip all of our chocolates, all our nut custards.
The source is close to the edge of the Santa Cruz Wharf, where 150 feet of pilings and wood collapsed into the ocean. The wharf's closure has cost the family tens of thousands of dollars. December is their busy month.
We weren't hearing anything. We were hearing it could be weeks. We could be hearing that they'd have to take off more of the wharf to deem it safe.
But the worst is finally behind them. After almost 2 weeks of uncertainty, the wharf is finally reopening tomorrow for the more than 20 businesses located near the collapse site.
The city is confident that the wharf is stable and sound. We had our engineer review and do a full assessment of the wharf following the collapse last week.
Tony Elliott, the director of Parks and Recreation for the city of Santa Cruz, says the road to revamping the wharf is still in the early stages. The agency still needs to locate all of the debris that fell into the ocean. Pilings and wood are washing up in all areas near the beach, some landing on private property. But perhaps the biggest priority is securing a crane that fell into the water.
The equipment has been located and it does not pose any additional environmental risk at this point. In other words, it's not leaking oil or fuel or anything like that.
But there's still the question of whether to rebuild the part of the wharf that collapsed, with the risk of more powerful waves in the future. The agency is still planning to complete a revitalization master plan put in place a few years ago, but this time with more updates that account for climate change and high swells.
What we aim to do too as a city and as a region is really think about our approach with any storm event that may be coming. How do we best prepare for that?
But in the meantime, the city is focusing on bringing foot traffic back to one of its most beloved landmarks, so businesses like the Marinis can welcome guests once again.
Well, as for that heavy equipment that fell into the ocean, the city says that a skiff washed up onto the beach and is secure. Meantime, that crane that Kara mentioned, as well as a skid steer, are in the water, a safe distance from the wharf. Crews are tagging them with buoys so they know where they are. The county's community foundation also set up a disaster fund trying to support businesses, workers, and others impacted by the wharf closure. If you're interested in donating, or you might be eligible to receive some help, you can visit their website at cfscc.org.